And now, here's the breakdown with Justin Hunte.
Shade 45, I got my man Justin Hunte. It is a busy day. We got to knock a whole bunch of shit out. Breaking news on Demi Lovato right now.
Breaking news on Demi Lovato. Just came across the feed now. Demi Lovato has been admitted into the hospital for a reported heroin overdose.
Damn. I'm not familiar with her music at all, but I have heard her name.
I haven't either. I'm not very familiar with her musically as an artist. I remember she did the national anthem during a Floyd Mayweather fight last year. She just had a YouTube special around her concert series that happened earlier this year, maybe late last year if I remember correctly.
But she's been having some struggles.
She's been having some struggles. Now this past June, which was interesting, she released a song called Sober. And it was basically a letter to her fans.
Didn't last that long, huh?
Well, she had been sober for a while, reportedly. This is the first time, the song itself was about how she fell off the wagon.
I can relate. Look, I'm going to crack these jokes because I can relate to everything.
It's hard being sober, man. Don't let anybody tell you anything
that
different.
Shit is fucking... I didn't do any drugs yesterday. It was boring as hell. I was like...
Right.
Really? And then I got tired early. I'm like, oh, fuck this. I'm just going to sleep.
Now, the song is called Sober Again. It said, Mama, I'm sorry I'm not sober anymore. Daddy, please forgive me for the drink spilled on the floor. To the ones who never left me. We've been down this road before. I'm so sorry I'm not sober anymore. I thought it was alcohol. I thought maybe she was,
well,
she
drank a lot. Say drinks. She didn't say dope.
She didn't say
spilled
dope.
On the floor.
Right, exactly.
Well, here's the problem with heroin, and I say this shit, and it sounds, it's going to, at the risk of sounding like unfucking sensitive right now, here's the problem with heroin. It's fucking awesome. That's the problem with that shit. Like, it feels really good.
What's it feel like? I've never tried it.
Well, I've never done it. That's because it's awesome. That's why, that's why I don't do it. But I've done Oxy 80s before and watched City of God, and that shit was awesome. It was fucking felt so good. It was just, it's a great feeling. You feel fucking euphoric and happy and mellow and just it's awesome. That's why you should never try heroin. Because the best case scenario is you'll get sick and throw up. And the worst case scenario is that shit'll be cut with fentanyl or something like that and you'll OD. And then the second worst case scenario is you just get a chippy habit and the next thing you know, fucking 10 years later, you're a fucking dope fiend.
Right. Yeah, it definitely seems like there's nowhere to go but down. I've tried lean. I didn't like lean. That was enough for me.
Lean is like heroin light. That's the most lightest version of it. Lean is the light. That's dope light. And then it goes, you get Norcos and Vikes and then Perks and Oxys, and then Dilaudid and shit would be mixed up in there. And
I'm glad I didn't like
heroin.
I couldn't motivate myself to do anything the one time I did lean. I was stuck on the couch in my dorm room with my roommates' friends who I hated. I hated them all. I didn't like them. I wanted to leave, but I was leaning. I was like, you know what? I guess I can make the best of the situation, man. I hate everything that's happening, but I feel good.
Yo, we got a listener who had such a bad dope problem that she shot herself in the foot with a 45 just to get put on oxys. And she did it twice. So I guess just stay out. Look, man, just be careful, y'all, with the drugs that you pick. Because dope is a motherfucker. And kicking it, being dope sick, that's a son of a bitch. And hopefully the fact that she's in the hospital and not dead right now is probably a good sign. You know what I mean? They caught that shit. So it sounds like hopefully she gets out of this and maybe this will turn her around.
Got some positive energy to her. She was sober for 6 years. Hopefully this puts her back in a
And that's the crazy shit. I've been down this road with ketamine, man. You kick And then the problem is you go back and you just jump right back to the exact same amount that you was doing before. And sometimes your body isn't ready for that shit. Like you do that same load that you did when you was full blown a dope fiend, and then you fuck around an OD, man. Like that's some real shit. Yeah. So, all right. So that's Demi Lovato. Look, no one wants to see no one pass off of that shit, and heroine's a motherfucker. And some of our greatest artists were fucking dope fiends. Miles Davis, John Coltrane, fucking half them rock and roll motherfuckers back in the day.
Right.
Yeah. So,
I mean, look, there's a bunch of rappers running around on heroin light.
Yeah.
Heroin light's in vogue. Everyone's popping pills, man. I mean, you know, drugs do a great job inspiring great art.
Yeah, they do.
If there's an upside.
Yeah, I think I want to say like Abbey Road was all on heroin. Like,
I hope so. That'd be great. That'd be some crazy sober thoughts, man.
I feel like we were like, don't do drugs, but then we were like, but if you want to do John Coltrane, Giant Steps, do drugs. Drugs and no talent is not good, but like if you got some talent and some drugs, boy, oh boy, you can make something real special. Let's talk to Kimmy. Kimmy, go ahead.
Hey there. I just wanted to tell you that I will have 5 years of sobriety on August 1st from alcohol, and sometimes the sober life does suck, but it's better than the withdrawal.
Congratulations.
I thought you'd be more
Thank
interesting
you.
than that. We just talked about. rehab with
a lot of ladies.
Did you ever suck dick for alcohol?
Heroin.
Did you ever blow a guy for fucking a can of beer?
No.
You wasn't addicted. You wasn't addicted. Fuck out of here. Jesse in Louisiana.
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I got a lot of experience with heroin, man. I've never done it myself, but, you know, rest in peace. My sister passed away from an overdose, and growing up like that, you know, my buddy's dad was addicted to it, and one day we walk into the house, and he's got a hammer on the fucking table, and he starts smashing his hand to shit just so he can go get fucking oxys from the doctor. Like you said, that's the first thing that popped in my head when you said dude shot himself in the foot. I watched a grown man when I was 16 smash his hand with a fucking hammer just to go get oxys from the doctor.
It's an epidemic out in this bitch, bro. It's crazy. Like cats.
I mean, it's outrageous, dude.
Cats
like people
really
will
on that
do
dope.
fucking anything.
Well, so there you go. Luckily, Demi Lovato, they caught that shit early, and she is in the hospital. Hopefully, she recovers, and there isn't permanent damage.
You remember when I tore my Achilles?
Yeah.
And I had surgery, and I was locked in the room for like 10 weeks. I was scared. I didn't do all the oxys that the doctor prescribed. Like,
That's how they get you hooked.
Yeah, I did it for the first week, and I was like, man, I gotta get these out the house, man.
No,
I'll just bear it. I can't be.
Bro, that's how they get you hooked. You fucking get an injury, they put you on a fucking month's worth of fucking oxys, and then it's just, let me get another. I know so many cats that got hooked off of drugs, off of like some little petty injuries, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a motherfucker. All right, look, let's talk Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Tekashi 6ix9ine had an eventful weekend. Now, reports broke on Sunday that Tekashi was hospitalized after reportedly being attacked and kidnapped. Now, TMZ was the first one to report it. The assailants allegedly took about $750,000 in jewelry from him, $15,000 to $20,000 in cash. Now, this took place early in the morning, 4 a.m., 3 a.m. He said in an interview he did with TMZ, we have a clip, we'll play a different section of that here in a second, but he said he was coming from working on his video with Nicki Minaj, Fifi.
Yeah. Okay.
And they're pulling back into his house to the block he lives on.
Right.
They got rear-ended from behind.
So they're blocked in.
Right, and someone else hits him on the side.
Got him.
Gets out of the car, pistol whips him, pulls him out of the vehicle he's in into another vehicle, And then Tekashi says that he told them, hey, man, I just want to live another day, see my daughter. I don't live far from here. I'll go inside. I'll get you some jewelry. I don't have any cash on me. Only thing I have on me is a debit card. And so that's what his most recent version of this story is.
I'm sure he was very calm when he was explaining that.
And we have a clip, and you can hear it in his voice here.
When I woke up, I was in the back seat of a car. I didn't have nothing. I literally left my house with like literally nothing. Like I didn't have nothing. All I had on me was a phone and my debit card. When I say, yo, listen, let me, like, you know what I mean? Like, allow me to see my daughter another day. You know what I'm saying? I got a 2-year-old daughter at home. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to see my daughter another day. I said I got some jewelry in the house. Y'all can have that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell them where I lived. They went to the front of my house. So it was just like somebody must have told them where I lived. They've been following me and been watching me. So it was like a you know, like an inside job. At least when you speak this for words, like I wouldn't want to set up a publicity stunt and lose close to $1 million. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I guess I'm like the boy who cried wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like the person who trolls so much. Like when it's actually real, people just don't believe it anymore because it's like, oh, he's trolling. You know what I'm saying? As much as I want to be a regular person.
But you can't be, because you're not.
I thought that last part's pretty true, because once this story broke, I'll definitely speak for myself. I'm sure I'm not alone on this. I didn't believe it.
You really didn't believe it?
I didn't. Honestly, I don't know whether to now. And here's the biggest reason. I know this kid for things he just says and does, most of which aren't true.
Why would you want to look like a victim, though? Why would you want to look like a Vic?
I don't think that trolling is about accuracy or authenticity or honesty. Trolling is about attention above all. And every arc to every story, every narrative, someone goes up, someone goes back down, then they go back up, then they come back down.
So you think he's doing it for, like, if he is trolling, he's doing it for sympathy?
Well, they released a new song the next day. Nicki Minaj absolutely is at a point in her career we haven't seen her. She is not nearly as undefeated musically from a sales standpoint or from a critical standpoint.
Since the one chick came along.
Now, here's the guy saying he's the king of New York. I think it's a good narrative to help Nicki Minaj get back on top. I don't know the justification, but this kid is a product of a generation that values attention before they value anything else.
Was there a police report?
The police report came out. Now, the original police report, according to TMZ, there were some details that differed between what Tekashi said and what the police report initially said, which added some questions around what happened. Now, there was another police scanner or cameras in the area that did show a car at a distance from Tekashi's house.
Did his car get? Is there damage to his car?
I haven't seen. I have not seen a report on that yet.
Look, I don't think it happened. I don't think he made it sound as, look, man, hey, you know, I just want to see my daughter. I'm sure he probably wasn't as calm after getting fucking smacked in the head with a goddamn pistol, waking up in a back seat. I'm sure he wasn't like, look, guys, let's just talk this out. It was probably. There's probably a little bit more pleading in his voice. I think he did get robbed.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like it. It definitely sounds like it.
I think he did get robbed. And there's a huge group of people, such as myself, that have no sympathy for him whatsoever. He's been out here talking mad shit. He even said it. He's trolling like a motherfucker. He's letting his whereabouts be like tracking him. Motherfucker, you track yourself. Like, you're all over the fucking place. Like, anybody with an IG account can figure out where the fuck you're going to be at. Like, inside job. It doesn't take that. You ain't that hard to find. You got sparkly, you got like rainbow hair, and you run around being loud and shit.
He does a good job with security as well. Like, I haven't seen him just be wilding out in places without having security around him. Now, he's also been very vocal about how he feels, or at least at one point, felt like he would never get touched in New York City. So this is his home turf, his home territory where it happened. Maybe that's the justification in his mind for it to be inside.
Malcolm X got shot, and Malcolm X got shot by his own folks. He thinks he's not going to get touched in New York City? Give me a fucking break.
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean,
there's wolves out here, dog.
But here's the biggest thing the biggest emotion I had around this.
What's that?
None. Like when it first happened, someone tweeted online, like, "Oh, you guys think Tekashi would really set himself up to sell records?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think he would. I don't think it's past him. I'm not saying he got assaulted or not at this point, but the whole point is when things like this generally happen, I usually feel bad for somebody or I feel something for somebody. I was like, oh, this is nothing. This guy was been trolling anyway. So if it happened, he deserved it. And if it didn't happen, well, that makes sense. He trolls so much. And that's the problem with trolling.
My only shit was, that was it. And it wasn't even like a joyful ha. It was just like,
not even
oh,
caring.
well.
Right.
Like, oh, well, like, this is what happens. And, all right, let's say he's lying. He's still, like, to grown-ups, like, I don't know. They're just.
But you're not worried about grown-ups. So that's the difference. Like, the troll, it could still be a successful troll, even if he's lying, because he got attention.
But he was getting attention anyway. Like, I guess is the point. Like, it's just a new way to get attention?
If you look
getting kidnapped?
I never thought I'd hear Kanye say slavery was a choice, but he has his highest Google points, Google charting on Google Trends in the history of his entire career. So you can always get
weird
more
places
and get more attention. It's not something I haven't seen in the past 8 weeks. You could search a Google.
Let's go to Marcus in New Mexico. Yo, Marcus.
Yo, what's up?
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, about the whole topic on 6ix9ine, there's a video out where he's there's this random ass dude, he's wearing Tekashi's clown chain, asking for $250,000 to get it back.
It's $300,000, and there's 3 videos.
300,000?
Yes, 300,000. The first 2.
Do we got that?
I'll give you a link right here, John. The only reason I was hesitant to put those out here is because you can't hear any sound on the first 2.
All right.
So it looked like it could have been a video Tekashi made. They ripped, pulled it down, just made it look like it.
Right.
Then there's another one here of 2, and one of the videos has been removed already. So there's another video out here where these 2 guys are saying, "Hey, we got your chain back for you." But after for example, after the situation we just had with XXX, and everybody was piling on those guys who ended up not doing it, I am very cautious about throwing people in directions like that.
Vito in Long Island.
Yeah, I think he's full of shit, and I'm going to tell you why. Because number one, he was on the F whatever it is, the talk show last night, and he was saying that when he got robbed, that they took him to his house, and he had to call somebody and stay in the car to bring the jewelry down. Right now, why would he bring all of his jewelry down and give him everything he's got, $750,000 worth of jewelry? Why wouldn't he just be like, yo, get the Rolex or get something like that and just get these guys out of here, right? So it sounds like he knows the Kardashians and he's doing himself a little insurance scam.
I don't know. Look,
that works too.
Yeah, it might
and
be.
And then when he talks, everything he says, and he goes, yeah, like, every paraphrase is like, he's thinking of the next thing to say. The story is straight.
Could it be that he got robbed and he's just trying to make himself sound like cool about it? That could be the other lie. You know what I mean? That could be the other lie.
That's possible.
But that's the problem. That's the problem.
I think he's just getting some. I mean, I hope he gets that though. Fuck insurance anyway, because they be charging us extra for everything anyway.
But that's the whole problem when your whole 90% of your base and your existence is based off of trolling.
Yeah, like.
There's too many options, so now I don't care about any of them.
Yeah, like nobody believes anything. He called it out himself. He said, "I'm like the boy who cries wolf. I'm always trolling." So a lot of people don't believe me now, and you don't.
I don't care. I mean, if you got robbed, cool. If you don't, fine. But my point is, I think I would not put something like this past him. Like that's how far we've gone with trolling.
I guess I'm just so old. I'm just so fucking. This is how old I am. You getting robbed and getting your chain took is like out on the streets is like getting neutered.
I mean,
and that for rappers, like that's like it's hard to live down. That people pose with your chain. It's embarrassing. And there's just a new generation of people who are like, hey, that's cool, fucking.
I think a lot of the conversations evolved because even in rap in the beginning, right, you had a lot of artists who were gangster rappers who were talking about gangster rap, and you had a lot of people who weren't gangsters who were faking it, right? So there was movies like CB4 came out, Fear of a Black Hat, where they would make fun of or poke at artists who were faking the funk, faking their street life. Then we got to a point where it doesn't matter if you write your raps anymore at all. Like, you don't have to be authentic in rap. No one's gonna, now you don't even have to respond to disses. Now rap legends will tell you not to respond to guys who diss you, right? So in that span, we've seen hip hop do that. I think we're seeing that now with the internet. The internet, you kind of used to have to be, when the internet first started, there was a great piece I was talking about, the first comment section.
Has rap lost its street credibility?
This isn't about rap. This is a new space. This is what I mean. We're on the internet now.
So
more people like him for what he does online than they do about his songs.
Huh.
He has way more fans in the world who know who he is. They can quote him. And so we're at a place now where you don't have to be yourself online. You can just troll and make up your whole life and your whole existence. It's a Truman Show in everybody's phone.
Alex in North Carolina.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What up, Alex?
Hey, fucking Justin and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago. Like, this fucking white kid that just gets away with saying the N-word. And I kind of asked Justin's opinion on, like, how's that make you feel? I think some brothers got a little pissed off that he kept fucking trying to be something he's not, and some people might have got pissed off about it. And you notice in his little interview, he doesn't drop the N-bomb one time, dude.
I don't think look, first off, New York is weird, bro. Like, everybody says that shit. Like, it fucks me up.
That's what Justin was
like,
saying.
Chinese motherfuckers be saying, like, everybody says it. Like, New York is its own deal. Detroit was the same way, like Arab cats, like everybody says it. So I don't think he got robbed because there were a couple black guys that was mad about him overusing the N-word, as you call it.
I'm not necessarily saying that.
I'd actually be happier about that.
Had a big part of it.
I would be so bummed about that. I'd rather he got robbed for his money. Like, that's why you rob people, for money. Like, oh.
People need to start getting robbed for being bad examples. You're making us look lame out here. Give me that chain.
Rap is the bottom line is this. Rap is no longer street. It's like fucking, it's this weird, rap is pop. It's entered into the middle class, and it's adopting some middle class values, a weird middle class value system where, like, who the fuck, like, remember what was my man from Chicago that got robbed? Lil Berg or whatever.
Young Berg.
Yeah, Young Berg. This chain was everywhere. He never came out again. Like, the guy just disappeared. It was like 10 years ago. This guy's on TMZ talking about it. Like, we live in another time. This is another world.
The music's the accessory now. It's not the product. The
product
is the Instagram.
Yeah.
This is like watching a TV show.
Look, man, I'm not even saying, like, I've been robbed at gunpoint a couple times. It's not even like but I never said I was a tough guy.
Next time you should put on the gram, man. Watch how that'll blow up.
I got robbed before the internet was there, so like that was real shitty. And you know what? I probably wouldn't be like, guess what, y'all? I got robbed. Cause you know how I felt when I was getting robbed? Emasculated. If you feel like shit when someone has a pistol on you and they're telling you what to do. You're a puppet. He was a puppet for fucking 30 minutes. Knocked out, turned into a puppet. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. We're running your pockets. We're taking your fucking chain. If it's true. And if it's not, then his troll game is next level. Cause there we go. We talked about him for too fucking long.
Troll game on 1 million. I can't.
You think he's trolling?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, if you had to bet, what is your bet?
Just trolling.
So you think he didn't get robbed?
I wouldn't put it past. I don't have examples of him being truthful about anything. So I can only base everything I know about him off of everything I've experienced, and that's the only thing I've experienced. So I don't want to take this and treat it differently.
You know what?
Everything I know about this dude, he be lying about everything.
I just hope he got robbed. That's it. I just hope he got robbed. So he did or he didn't, but the amount of shit that this motherfucker has been talking forever and then hiding behind cops and going down to Texas and won't come out on stage until the people he's beefing with leaves and shit like that. Like this would make the universe make sense to me. Even if he made money off of the fucking insurance, this would make the universe make sense to me. That's all I'm saying. That's it.
Let's hope he got robbed.
Dog, anybody that runs their mouth that fucking much and doesn't get touched.
Only for the universe. Let's do it for the universe.
Yeah,
not for anything negative against Tekashi, but for the benefit of the universe.
For the cosmos.
For the cosmos, he needs to have gotten robbed.
For the motherfucking yeah, for shit to make for the rainforest, for shit to make sense in the fucking world. That's all I need.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. All right.